Hello lovelies, it's Emma Page, hairstylist and giant nerd back again, and I really want to talk to you guys today about hairbrushes. I am not here to give you a particular brush to go by. I find that most people are just gonna go to Target, TJ Maxx, Walmart, whatever, and pick up a brush. So rather than saying, hey, here's my favorite brush, it's professional exclusive, and here's where you can get it. I will show you professional brushes in another video, but I really wanted to go where you guys shop and do a brush analysis and kind of help you understand what's what and what brush is appropriate for what need. So we're going on a field trip. I am packing up my bags and we're gonna go to Target. They took some notes. Found it. All right, cool. So I have found, this is super overwhelming. And this is actually a pretty small section in comparison to what some places have. And there's a lot of different types of brushes for a lot of different stuff here. So I'm gonna kind of grab a few and break them down. I love wet brushes. Love, 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 love wet brushes. Even with these guys though, all of them, great for detangling. If you're trying to get tangles out, excellent, A1. This one, great for blow drying. This one, great for blow drying. For rough drying at least, like getting it mostly dry because they're ventilated, they're heat resistant, good to go. This guy is not gonna be good for blow drying because it's got that background to it, right? It's not gonna get nearly as much airflow through it. This is, and it even says detangle on it. Like really, they made it easy on you. This one's best for detangling, not styling. This one is really great for getting your hair smooth because it's got these boar bristles in it. So after you get it rough dried, this is your finisher. Excellent, excellent for finishing. Overall, wet brush brand, 10 out of 10. I love them. I use them in the salon. They're super accessible. They're super easy to find. And even like, I'll be honest, if you use these for the wrong tool or wrong use, they're just well made and they're gonna give you a good lifespan. They're gonna last a while. So these guys, I have seen these misused so many times. These are for styling. I'm gonna be honest, this particular kind, the bristles are like a really stiff plastic. I wouldn't recommend these for styling, but if it's what you got, okay, rock on. However, I see people using these to try and detangle their hair. You are more likely to get this stuck in your hair than to get the tangles out, and you are working 20 times as hard as you need to get this brush through your ends in comparison to something like the wet brushes. So super ineffective for detangling. Skip it, pass it, get a detangling brush. And if you really want this for styling, that's what it's for, is when you're round brushing, not detangling. Do not take this to your knots. So these have made a really big, like, trendy, super popular with the curly community right now. If you don't have curls, you don't really need this. If you do have curls, I personally haven't noticed a terribly huge difference between these and a traditional wet brush for detangling or styling if your technique is good. But if you find it helps, rock on again with your bad self as a curly girl. Everyone else, you're just not getting any benefit from like the separated tongs that peel, and it's not doing you anything other than it looks cool on your counter. But it does kind of look cool on your counter. Oh, wait. There's another version of the curly one. I almost missed this one. Again, really only useful if you have curly hair. Everyone else, skip this. If you have curly hair and you find it nice, enjoy. But the separating tongs I find to be a little bit of a hindrance in detangling, not helpful. I think it doesn't have quite enough tension to help get through those tangles for 90% of people. These guys, my extension girlies, these are your friend. So detangling, one of the number one things I look for in a detangling brush, especially for extensions, is you see how there's no ball on the end of these tines. So if you hit your root with the extensions, it won't snag. It'll fall right on out. Love that. No balls on the end of the tines on either of these. And honestly, like, I love the Tangle Teezer brand. I think they're great. Absolutely adore their products too. And no, for the record, they're not sponsoring me. They've never given me a dime. I pay for their products just like everyone else. I just think they're great. I've never heard of this brand before though. No idea. Yeah, Swissco. It's my first time. I haven't checked out a Target brush aisle in like 10 years, okay? Cut me some slack. Let's see what else we got in here. So 2 more like really common grabs that I see from brush sections that people kind of misuse. I see a ton of people who have both of these versions or either one of them and use it for everything. So just like that round brush we looked at earlier, these aren't necessarily all-purpose tools. For example, this one, this paddle brush, you can use this to get tangles out of your hair, but it doesn't have enough, it's really stiff. It doesn't have anywhere near enough flexion to these bristles to be nice to your hair. So you're gonna be ripping and breaking, and we're just gonna say that. It's not nice for detangling. It's great for smoothing, brushing through once it's dry, not on wet hair. This is primarily a styler. This is for styling your hair straight. Can be used for detangling in a pinch, but it is not ideal. Similar thing here. This is a Denman style brush. It's not Denman brand. Love these for curly girls to style. If you know how to do that, it's a game changer. I love these for blow drying. If you know how to do that, incredible. Again, just like that paddle brush we were just looking at, the Denman style is not a great detangler because, like, you see how stiff that is, right? Like, I'm putting pressure on it. That is the benefit of this brush, but that's also why it's not good for detangling, because they're stiff, really stiff bristles. Excellent styler, terrible for tangles. So, one last one, very last one I promise, for bristle brushes. This says it is an all-purpose brush. And I find that the words all-purpose are very rarely accurate. This is great for smoothing. This is great for shine. This is great for putting frizz down. It's great for finishing off your ponytail, your updo. If you're a dude, it's great for your beard, right? Like, it's excellent for beard maintenance. But if you're trying to get tangles out with this, you're gonna be there for an hour at least. You're gonna be doing, you know, the Victorian era, old school, 100 strokes a day to get any kind of tangle out with this, if it works at all. So literally, this is a styler, this is for shine. Only things this is good for, styling and shine. Bonus brush, I almost missed this one, almost overlooked it completely. So earlier we were looking at these guys and I was saying, like, if you really have to use them to style your hair, all right. This is much closer to what I would love to see. It's not quite the quality of a professional brand brush, that's fine, right? But what it does have is a hybrid of, these are usually either made out of like a plastic or a metal for getting heat and tension, mixed in with some boar bristle. This one says it's ceramic bristles, but you have, again, these tines with no balls on the end. You've got boar bristles for shine. You have the ceramic bristles for tension. This is a round brush to style with. This is what I would love to see people using at home over something like this. This style of brush, I'm very surprised to see it in a Target, and I'm actually very pleased because this is much, much better, much easier to use. You'll end up with better results, less likely to get tangled in your hair, more effective at getting the job done. Leaps and bounds above its same brand competitor, other option. So that kind of covers all the brushes they've got here, so back to the salon we go. All right, I'm back in the salon. That was a really fun trip to Target. I honestly hadn't been in one in like a year or two. It's changed so much. I definitely need to get out of the house more, but I really hope that the breakdown of what brush is used for what purpose is helpful for you guys, because it's a little overwhelming going in there, and I know that. And a lot of people have just reached for what they've always used, whatever their parents had or their grandparents had. They just keep reaching for the same brush because they don't know. So hopefully you know a little bit more now, and you're a little bit more educated on the brush world, a little bit better understanding of which one to reach for when and which one you need for your hair and your situation, because it's not a one size fits all when it comes to those brushes. I, as always, am really just loving sharing my knowledge with you guys and giving back. And I hope that you enjoyed this. So if you did, hit that bell, like, follow, subscribe, and I'll be back soon with some more hair content and nerdiness for you.